So now we're going to look at how to solve quadratics by computing the square. So I have here an equation x squared minus 16x is equal to negative 15. So first you have to make sure that the constant is separated on the right hand side. So as you can see here, 15 is already on the right hand side. So we have to separate the part that says x squared minus or plus bx. Now once you have that set up ready, we're going to do our half step earlier. So we said that the half number for negative 16 or 16 is negative 8. So regardless of the sign, when you square that number, it will still become positive. Now this part that I'm writing here, if you can do it in your head, do so. You don't have to write it down on the paper. Remember, you're only doing this to find that value that you're going to add so that you will complete the square in the equation. So let's keep that in mind. 64. Let me erase this one so we'll have more space. Okay, so we said that half of 16 is 8, and then when we squared it, we got 64. So we'll have x squared minus 16x, and then we add the 64 to the left-hand side. But remember what we learned in working with equations. Whatever you do to the left, you must do to the right. There you go. So you now have a resulting equation, x squared minus 16x plus 64 is equal to negative 15 plus 64. Now we're going to simplify that. So when we simplify, we get x squared minus 16x plus 64 is equal to positive 49 by combining these two. So now we're going to go back to the left-hand side and factor it. Remember, to factor, it's x and then plus or minus, but since the sign of negative 16 here is negative, then we're going to use negative here. So x minus, and then you write the half number that you got earlier, which was 8, and then square it. So x minus 8 squared is equal to 49. So now that both sides of the equation are perfect squares, remember the previous method that we learned is by using square roots. So the reason why we had to change this to a perfect square is so we can write it in a factored form so that it will make it easier to find the square root, right? So now let's get the square root of that. So the radical and the exponent will cancel out. So now you have x minus 8 is equal to the square root of 49 is plus or minus 7. So now you can break down your answers down. X is equal to plus or minus 7. You move the 8 over to the other side, you're going to have positive 8. So then there are two possible answers here. Positive 7 plus 8 is 15, while negative 7 plus 8 is 1. So that means these are the two solutions to your quadratic equation.